Hello, hello, and happy Monday. And today we move into March more fully this week. And actually, with that move into March, we are coming up to what is quite another important threshold. So on the 15th of March, that has been indicated as quite a powerful ancestral time for shifts. And what that could look like is how in this particular time is about expression. What are we wanting to express? So again, that's quite relevant to this year. We've done a lot of shedding in the last year and release. And this date coming up is an important time for ourselves to begin to express. Now, the important thing about that is, what is it that we're wanting to express? We've been doing the inner work. You kind of have some feelings around what those little seeds and intentions are. But the thing is, expression and finding voice and being aligned with your higher self and staying centered are all really important parts of self-expression, because we can express all sorts of things and it doesn't make them meaningful, and it doesn't mean that they're aligned with our truth. And sometimes expression can be just forms of release of old information and truths like that. There's no judgment on that. That will be whatever it is for each of us. However, moving up to this portal, what we can do is bring a little bit more intention into our practice. And so whether you're feeling into that March the 15th date, or whether you're just going to go along with this for fun, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever feels right for you. So in that said, when we're expressing ourselves, the first thing is about clearing. So this is a powerful time for clearing. We know with March is typically it's all about spring cleaning and, stepping out, cleaning the house, getting things organized. So that's one thing that we can each do to help our sense of expression. So we can let go of anything, have a look at all objects, think about what's meaningful, what do I want to hold, and we're going to introduce the word sacred now at this point. So what am I going to hold sacred? What feels sacred to me? What is just a nice decoration? And what is actually something that's not really part of me anymore? So we can do that in a very physical way in our homes. And we can also do that internally as well. So things about, relationships, ways of being, feelings that we're ready to release. And that is not so, when we're doing that internal work, it's not so much a case of, having a hardcore, like we're doing inventory in a stockroom. It's a lot more gentle, because what happens is, in our body, we've got a much more integrated system than that. We don't need to do anything in order for this system to work. All we have to do is simply show up. So for that, we can just sit with ourselves and go into a nice gentle breathing meditation. And when things come up, just allow them to come up. So your body will show you what it is for you that you're clearing. When you go into your quiet space of repose. And then the next trick is to not attach a story to it, but just to allow the sensation to be in your body. So that's something that you can sit with Reiki for, and that's something that we'll be doing in our Reiki share this evening. And that's an online and in-person event. So if that appeals, do come along. And then the next thing, once we've done the clearing and we've released that aspect, the next thing is determining what is sacred within. So the thing about sacredness, it's very different to secretness, or secrecy. So when we're looking at what we're going to keep, when we keep things, we're not holding on to them, so we're not attaching to them. What we're doing is we're working out what we want to hold in a beautiful little bubble of light and keep very special and sacred to ourselves. And so an example of that would be within the ICRT framework, we have Reiki symbols, and they are kept secret from society, or at least, what we are invited to do is go into a sacred relationship with them. In other words, we hold them, we work with them, and we hold them in like a divine space within ourselves. So we develop our own internal beautiful relationship with them in our own way. Now, that is a beautiful practice, because over time what that teaches is we're not withholding them from anybody, and in fact we share them when it's appropriate to do so, but we don't just have an open gate where anyone can just come in and we share them as we might do our thoughts on the weather. So this is the difference between sacred and secret. It's very important in our human existence to have some things that are just sacred to ourselves, because when we have a part of ourselves that we really treasure, it attracts more of that feeling to ourselves, and it actually engenders a sense of self-completion within it. It helps us to feel like a part of us is being honored. It teaches us how to really honor ourselves. And so an example of holding something sacred would be when you have an idea about something, you might be excited by that idea and want to share it with everybody. But in doing so, you can give away a lot of the energy of that, and it becomes less special. So because it's no longer in a relationship just with you, it's now a shared idea. And so what that can mean is the energy of it becomes quite scattered, and you are less able to hold it in a sacred way, and it becomes, ownership of everybody, which makes it harder to foster and nurture it in the way that you feel. It's not impossible, of course, but it makes it a little bit more splintered. So when we hold something sacred, it's not that we're keeping it secret from everybody. It's more that we gently nurture and nourish it within our own light, sharing it when it feels appropriate to do so. And maybe that means never sharing it. It doesn't have to be something that is ever shared, but we're not doing it through fear. We're not doing it through fear of someone else finding out or somebody else needing to know about it. It's coming from a space of love. And that's the difference. When we're holding something sacred, we're holding it in a space of love and creating it with love and beauty, and almost just giving it a little house to protect it. And then when it's feeling strong enough and robust enough, we may share. And that is the same with relationships. So it can be the same with our relationship with another. So, when we're fostering a relationship and nurturing it, we don't necessarily share everything about what's going on. We're just sharing, the important parts are very much between us and that other person. And we hold those really dear bits really nice and closely. And they're the bit they stay really special. And how well we're able to hold that sacredness often reflects how well we are able to foster relationships healthily. So the practice can begin with holding ourselves inwardly sacred. So by gently fostering ideas and little mini projects we have and feelings about certain things within ourselves, and holding them in a beautiful way with love and cherishing them, we teach ourselves, our system, how to regulate and I feel the sensation of what it's like to be in sacred relationship with something, and we can enter into a sacred relationship within ourselves. So finding a part of ourselves that we honor and that we love, and bringing that same sacredness. So something that we want to honor ourselves with, like it might be a yogic practice or walking daily, something that, or eating a certain food, even if it's a food that's not so great for us. But if we make that a real ritual, very sacred, and something that we do in a very special way, it can actually nurture and foster that feeling of, love, rather than a feeling of fear. So if we secret off to eat a chocolate bar and anyone wasn't looking, that has a very different vibration to going and lighting a candle and sitting and doing it where it feels really beautiful. And actually the energetic effects of that will be hugely different, because one fosters more beautiful inner work, and the other one is depleting, self-depleting. So when we work in that way and foster our sacredness within to whatever we choose, that is how we can begin to foster a relationship that's sacred outwardly too. And so a lot of things around us become, more special and more abundant in feel, because it all helps to create that beautiful feeling of inner peace. So in terms of what we're putting this all together, we're looking to, at the moment, clear out and release those things that we don't want to be taking forward, and recognizing what parts of ourselves inwardly are ready to be held sacredly. And on by March the 15th, we may well be feeling like expressing some of those things, how they maybe begin to be put out into the world. So feel how that sits with you. And what I'd invite you to do right now is to go and do some of that work. So I'm asking for the Holy Fire Reiki to support and guide you with that. So here's the intention. When you find the time to sit and have that moment's regulation for 5 minutes in nature, or wherever you can find the peace for 5 minutes, it really doesn't matter. And just be with yourself. I ask that Reiki, the Holy Fire, join you there and help with your process to gently reach in and explore and feel into those things that are ready to go, and allow to be witnessed those things within you, even just one thing that wants to be held sacred and nurtured with no expectation of outcome, simply being noticed and observed and gifted with love and held sacred, away from anything else, just for you. And then see where that takes you. May the Holy Fire guide that energy. Remember, the Holy Fire is a Reiki energy that comes in and it gently moves through, clearing away anything that is not aligned with your highest good. It works from the inside out. So it's a powerful ally to have in this kind of work. You may also wish to start that process before you do your quiet time with a bit of a clear out physically in the house or your surroundings, the office space, or just in the space where you're going to do the task. Start small, because this cleansing process can take weeks. So, and as for March the 15th, it doesn't have to be complete by then. This is a process. But that day is an important day for expressing something. So see what comes through for you and let me know. And if you would like to lean into doing a bit of physical clearing and energetic clearing today, then drop me a line and I will send you the Zoom link for this evening. Or you can also find it on my webpage. Okay, it's 6 till 7:30. Lots of love and have a beautiful week.